Throughout the ages, the name Genghis Khan has invoked a sense of awe and mystery, representing one of history's most dramatic chapters of conquest and empire. In this narrative journey, I invite you to explore the fascinating legacy of Genghis Khan, a leader whose ambition carved out a massive empire, including the renowned conquest of China. The story that unfolds here blends epic battles with influential governance, marked by personal courage and strategic brilliance. As I guide you through early struggles on the vast Mongolian steppes, the meticulous military techniques that reshaped history, and the sweeping administrative reforms that united diverse peoples, you will understand why his rule remains a topic of study and admiration. In recounting his rise and the subsequent fragmentation of his empire after his death, I present a balanced view that highlights both his remarkable achievements and the challenges of sustaining a vast dominion. This narrative not only emphasizes the martial prowess that defined his exploits, but also illuminates the wisdom behind his governance, showing how ambition and effective leadership intertwined in shaping history. Join me as I uncover, step by step, the hidden secrets behind his unmatched legacy and timeless influence on global empires. Born into the harsh and unforgiving lands of the Mongolian steppe, Genghis Khan's childhood was a study in resilience and determination. Growing up amid fierce tribal rivalries and constant battles for survival, he learned early on that the world was a place where only strength and cunning could secure one's place. His early years were marked by personal loss, deep betrayal, and the relentless struggle to protect his loved ones and his people. In the midst of these turbulent times, young Genghis Khan displayed an unusual sense of leadership. He was observed uniting scattered kin and forming alliances that defied the conventional rivalries of the steppe. As he matured, his experiences on the battlefield deepened his understanding of strategy and human nature alike. He watched and learned as older warriors waged conflicts with traditional methods that often left their tribes weakened, and he sought new ways to harness the power of unity. It was during these formative years that he began to envision a future where the Mongolian tribes would stand together as one, emerging as a single formidable force. Guided by passion and an extraordinary vision of unity, he gathered followers whose loyalty grew from personal admiration and the promise of a shared destiny. In every challenge he faced, young Genghis Khan indeed refined his approach, believing that adversity was the forge in which both leaders and legends are made. Thus, his youth was never wasted, each hardship fueling his legendary resolve. Moving forward from his early years, Genghis Khan emerged as a military genius whose strategies revolutionized warfare. His campaigns, especially against the mighty kingdoms of China, were meticulously planned and executed with remarkable precision. When he set his sights on China, he understood that victory would not come from brute force alone, but through careful observation of his enemy and the innovative use of mobility and deception. I describe how his forces, often outnumbered yet fiercely determined, employed surprise maneuvers, feigned retreats, and rapid flanking attacks that caught established armies off guard. In these hard-fought battles, his personal bravery was evident as he led from the front, inspiring his warriors to achieve feats that defied the odds. The conquest of China was not merely about territorial expansion. It was a demonstration of his visionary tactics and unyielding commitment to strategy over chaos. His campaigns were marked by the integration of intelligence, disciplined organization, and efficient supply lines that allowed sustained military operations over long distances. Through careful reconnaissance and the use of swift, horse-mounted units, he managed to disrupt established trade routes and sow confusion among his adversaries. This not only yielded victories on the battlefield, but also set the stage for the profound cultural and political transformations that would follow. I recount the details of key battles where decisive maneuvers turned the tide in favor of his forces, and how the innovative tactics he pioneered became a blueprint for future military campaigns. His exploits in China remain a testament to what can be achieved when strategy, courage, and determination intersect to challenge even the most formidable opponents. Throughout the campaigns, Genghis Khan's innovative tactics transformed not only the battlefield, but also the art of war itself. His emphasis on speed and mobility allowed his army to cover expanses, striking unexpectedly and vanishing before counterattacks could organize. The disciplined structure of his units and integration of technologies and siege techniques further amplified his ability to overcome larger forces. Every maneuver was a lesson in efficiency and adaptability, leaving a legacy studied today as a model of strategic excellence indeed. After solidifying his reputation as a formidable conqueror, Genghis Khan turned his attention toward the monumental task of governing a sprawling empire. His approach to administration was both practical and visionary, designed to address the diverse needs of a population spread across vast territories. I illustrate how he introduced merit-based promotions within his ranks, ensuring that loyalty and skill were recognized regardless of traditional tribal status. This forward-thinking approach helped break down old hierarchies and cultivated a sense of shared destiny among his followers. His innovative communication network connected distant regions, employing a relay system that enabled rapid transmission of orders and news. This organizational efficiency was critical in maintaining control over territories that stretched from the central steppes to the far reaches of conquered lands. By standardizing laws and integrating customs from varied cultures, he established a framework that balanced discipline with flexibility. His governing system allowed local leaders to retain certain cultural practices as long as they adhered to the overarching legal and administrative structure. The empire he built was a tapestry of different peoples and traditions, woven together by policies that promoted trade, cultural exchange, and economic stability. I recount how military governors, appointed for both their tactical acumen and administrative abilities, played crucial roles in managing day-to-day affairs. Even in times of peace, the military presence ensured that order was maintained and that the empire's borders were secure. Genghis Khan's governance extended beyond mere military command. It was an exercise in nation-building that laid the groundwork for future empires. His strategy of decentralization allowed local autonomy, while still connecting every corner of the realm under a unified system. This careful balance between central authority and local governance proved essential for administering a diverse population. In every policy and reform, his focus was on creating an efficient, resilient structure that could withstand the pressures of both internal dissent and external threats. His administrative innovations not only stabilized his rule during his lifetime, but also left a lasting imprint on governance practices for centuries to come. Throughout his administration, Genghis Khan continuously refined his policies, ensuring that the diverse ethnic groups under his rule were respected and their traditions preserved, as long as they contributed to the greater stability of the empire. This approach fostered mutual understanding and loyalty, creating a unified yet flexible society that could adapt to changing circumstances while maintaining order and progress with success. Following Genghis Khan's death, the mighty empire he built began to show signs of strain, as the absence of his unifying presence became painfully clear. With no clear successor who could harness his unique blend of military strategy and administrative genius, the vast territories started to drift apart. I describe how internal conflicts over succession turned once loyal generals and governors into rivals, each vying for power and control over different regions. This emerging decentralization weakened the bonds that had held the empire together, setting the stage for fragmentation. Cultural and political differences, long suppressed under strong central rule, began to surface and fester. Local leaders, emboldened by the newfound autonomy, enacted reforms that catered more closely to regional customs and traditions. Trade routes became disrupted, and the communication networks once so vital to the empire's stability faltered under the weight of mismanagement and rivalry. The unity and discipline that had marked Genghis Khan's rule gradually eroded, replaced by mistrust and ambition that led to open conflicts. As regions splintered into increasingly autonomous khanates, the vision of a single, expansive empire faded into history. This collapse was not the result of a single event, but rather a slow, inevitable process driven by the internal fragility inherent in an empire built around a singular, commanding figure. I reflect on how the very qualities that enabled Genghis Khan to conquer vast lands, his decisiveness and uncompromising leadership, proved difficult to institutionalize. Ultimately, The disintegration of his empire serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges that arise when a great leader passes and the structures built around him are left without his guiding hand. This gradual breakdown of centralized power paved the way for decades of conflict and reformation, reshaping the map of Eurasia in unforeseen ways. Fractures in authority intensified with each passing year. In closing, the life and reign of Genghis Khan remain a profound testament to the possibilities and perils of absolute power. His inspiring rise from humble beginnings to an empire-spanning leader teaches us that visionary strategy and bold leadership can reshape history in remarkable ways. Despite his undeniable achievements in warfare and governance, the rapid disintegration of his empire after his death reminds us that the strength of any regime rests on sustainable institutions beyond a single individual. I reflect on how his blend of innovation and tradition set new standards for military and administrative practices, influencing countless leaders and shaping future empires. This legacy compels us to recognize that while genius can spark monumental change, lasting success depends on the structures that endure long after the great leader is gone, leaving us with timeless lessons about unity, resilience, and the human pursuit of power. History indeed echoes his legacy.